Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Druk's Unboxing. I don't know if it's just me, but it seems that 2023 is off to a slow start. Not a lot of big action going on. We did have a ladies the other night in New York where Amanda Serrano and Alicia Baumgartner came up victorious. But this Saturday on The Zone at the Nottingham Arena in the UK, we're going to have a big homecoming when local hero Leigh Wood defends his WBA World Featherweight title against a very dangerous Mexican Mauricio Lara. And I think it's going to be a fight that's going to have us on the edge of our seats. Now, in Leigh Wood, we have a sort of an unlikely champion. He's got a record of 26-2 with 16 knockouts. He has lost the decision to Jazza Dickens in the past, and further back he was stopped by Gavin McDonnell. But he's gone from strength to strength, and he caused a mild upset when he took the WBA title from the Chinese fighter Zhu Khan. And in that fight, he gave a very, very good performance. He stopped Khan from building any forward volume punching momentum. Every time Zhu Khan came forward, he clipped him with an uppercut. He used his jab to good effect. He kept moving around his opponent, and eventually he stopped Khan in the last round. Now, in his last fight, he posted a fight of a year type of performance. He fought the Irish Olympian Michael Conlan, and in that fight, Conlan gave Wood all kinds of trouble. Wood had a lot of trouble with the hand speed of Conlan, the layered technique of Conlan, as well as the movement, and he fell behind on points there, but he grinded his way back into the fight, and eventually he knocked Conlan out of the ring in the 12th round to retain his world title. And now he's out of the frying pan and back into the fire against the very dangerous Mauricio Lara, who's got a record of 25 wins, 2 losses and 1 defeat. He's got 18 knockouts in those 25 wins. Now, Mauricio Lara deserves his title shot because he's actually a bit unlucky not to have been a world champion. He came over to the UK to fight Josh Warrington, who was just stripped of his IBF featherweight world title. And it was no longer a title fight. He came as a substitute for Zhu Khan, and he surprised everybody by handing Josh Warrington his first defeat, giving him a beating and stopping him in 9 rounds. Was it because of the COVID environment where there wasn't any crowd present that made Warrington go flat? Well, we never got the chance to find out because they had a rematch and a headbutt ended matters in the 2nd round, and it was declared a no contest. So we could never really find out. And since then, Mauricio Lara has kept knocking them over. He has scored 2 stoppage wins since that aborted rematch with Josh Warrington. So he could have very well have been IBF champion that night. So he's looking to make amends now in the Nottingham Arena on Saturday night by fighting another Brit by he wants to knock out Leigh Wood and become the WBA featherweight champion of the world. Can he do that? I certainly think he can, because if we look at Wood in the Michael Conlan fight, Conlan knocked Wood flat on his back with a beautiful left there in the 1st round. And I think if Mauricio Lara, although he's not a southpaw like Michael Conlan, if Mauricio Lara can let go with a shot like that and nail Leigh Wood, I think Lara is a better puncher than Michael Conlan. Not nearly as good a boxer, but he's definitely a better puncher than Conlan. If he can nail Leigh Wood like that and there's still time left in the round, it could well be the end for Leigh Wood and we could have a Mexican world champion. But is he going to? Because if we look at Leigh Wood, he's got some layers to his game. He can box like he showed against Zhu Khan. He's a good counter puncher. If you make too many mistakes against him, he'll make you pay. And he can also crack. He also has a punch. And he's very determined. And he just grinds it out, you know. But tenacity and the never quit in the Michael Conlan fight, that is something that really stuck with me and impressed me about Leigh Wood. So I don't know how the fight will go on Saturday night. I think Leigh Wood is a better boxer than Mauricio Lara. I think if you look at Lara's record, he's also been knocked out by a guy called Elliot Chavez somewhere in his career until he fought Josh Warrington. There's nothing really on his record to let you know how good he really is. And if we see him in his fight since the Warrington fight, his hands are very heavy, both to the head and body. But he's not technically the most sound guy out there. He goes off balance when he throws his shots. Sometimes when he throws a shot, his back foot lifts off a canvas, things like that. And he'll give you opportunities to hit him back once he's exchanging with you. But the same goes for Leigh Wood. You know, he doesn't bring those hands up always when he's exchanging. So you can nail him also on the counter punches when he opens up. So I think we've got two guys here. Leigh Wood is 34 and then Mauricio Lara is only 24, so there's a 10 years age gap. I think Leigh Wood has definitely had the tougher fights and more wear and tear, but he's also more experienced at the world level. And then we've got Mauricio Lara, you know, who he hasn't got, I don't think he's got the layers that Leigh Wood has, but I think Leigh Wood is a better boxer than him. And I don't think Lara is going to present Leigh Wood with the trouble that Michael Conlan did. He's not going to struggle with the movement and the hand speed and all that. And that's not what's going to worry Leigh Wood with Mauricio Lara. I see Wood is saying he's going to stand right in front of him. Lara won't have to go and look for him. I don't think that's such a good idea. I think Leigh Wood should box him much like he did against Zhu Khan. But you've got to also remember Zhu Khan was very straight and upright with a peekaboo defense. He had not much head movement. Not that Lara has wonderful head movement, but he's got a much more explosive, herky-jerky style about him than Zhu Khan has. So I don't think he's going to have as easy a time as he had against Zhu Khan. I think there's a good possibility that if Mauricio Lara nails him, if he takes chances and slugs it out, Lara could nail him and he could take him out. But then again, Lara himself has been stopped. There's also a good chance Leigh Wood can nail Lara and take him out. It all depends. So if I'm Leigh Wood, I would start out by boxing, much in the same way that he did against Khan. Use those uppercuts, use that jab, shift around, and the openings will be there, and that's when he must nail Mauricio Lara and see if he can hurt him and take him out, but stay out of trouble himself. Now, if we look at Mauricio Lara, if I'm him, put pressure on Leigh Wood. You can't let him get settled, and you've got to hurt him, and you've got to take him out, much like he did against Josh Warrington. Who will win? I think I can see a knockout either way. I can see Leigh Wood stopping Lara. I can see Lara stopping Leigh Wood. I can see a points decision for Wood. I struggle to see a points decision for Mauricio Lara. I've been going this way and that way. Sometimes I feel that after that war against Conlan especially, the timing is right for Mauricio Lara and he's going to knock out Leigh Wood and become a new champion. And then I look at Lara's fights and I see the openings, I see the diamond in the rough kind of thing, the unpolished aspect of Lara's style, and I think now Wood should be able to use his experience and survive and then get to Lara late. So at a push, I'm going to go with Leigh Wood to retain his title in front of his Nottingham fans and go through some rough moments. I think Lara is definitely going to knock him down or have him wobbly at times, but I think in a war of attrition with Wood also bringing some power to the game. Remember, Josh Warrington is not a huge puncher. But so Lara is going to think. I think he's going to think twice more than he had to think twice against Josh Warrington. So I think it's going to be another great fight. I think both will have their moments, and I think Leigh Wood will do what he does best and nail Mauricio Lara on the counters, nail him in the gaps, and it will become a war of attrition. So I'm going with Leigh Wood to stop Mauricio Lara late in a cracker of a fight. So that's the way I see it, guys. If you've watched this far, please give the channel a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. And please subscribe if you haven't already. And please tell me in the comment sections, who do you have in the featherweight title fight? Are you riding with Leigh Wood, or do you think Mauricio Lara is going to take that belt back to Mexico? I would love to hear your opinion on that. And until we see each other again, remember to keep those hands up.